Life has a way of testing us. It throws challenges, obstacles, and sometimes even failure in our path. There are moments when the weight of it all feels too much to bear and the voice in our head whispers, maybe it's time to give up. But today I stand before you to declare one powerful truth. I will never quit. No matter how tough the road may get, no matter how many times I stumble or fall, I will rise again. I will keep pushing forward because within every challenge lies an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. So let's embrace the hardships. Let's face the fear, and let's stand united in our refusal to quit. Because if we can hold on just a little longer, if we can push through just one more time, greatness is waiting on the other side. Resilience is often seen as the ability to bounce back from setbacks, but its true essence goes far beyond that. It is a deep-rooted strength that allows a person to not only survive adversity, but to thrive in spite of it. Failure is something we all encounter at various points in our lives, whether in our personal relationships, our careers, or our dreams. The one thing that separates those who ultimately succeed from those who give up is resilience. Resilience is not about avoiding failure. It's about how we respond when we fall down. It is about the ability to turn the pain of failure into the fuel for success. When we face failure, it can feel like the end. The emotions that accompany failure, disappointment, frustration, and self-doubt, can be overwhelming. Many people, when confronted with failure, experience a sense of defeat and can feel as though they have reached a dead end. But it's at this point that resilience is born. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about developing the mindset to rise, learn, and grow from failure. It is about acknowledging that failure isn't a reflection of who we are as individuals, but simply an event, a moment in time. The reality of failure is that it is often out of our control. We may have worked tirelessly toward a goal, invested countless hours, and put our heart and soul into something only to see it fall apart. At this moment, the temptation is to walk away, to quit, to retreat into the comfort of what we know. But this is where resilience kicks in. Resilience isn't the absence of failure. It's the decision to keep going despite it. Resilient people recognize that failure is not a permanent condition. It is a momentary experience that offers valuable lessons. Rather than allowing failure to define them, they choose to redefine it as an opportunity for growth and improvement. One of the most important aspects of resilience is the ability to reframe failure. When we fail, it's easy to get stuck in the negative emotions that come with it. We can become paralyzed by our perceived shortcomings or by the fear of future failure. But resilient individuals refuse to see failure as a mark of defeat. Instead, they view it as a stepping stone, a part of the process of growth. They ask themselves, what did I learn from this? How can I adjust my approach? And what can I do differently moving forward? Resilience comes from the ability to bounce back with a sense of purpose, clarity, and a deeper understanding of what is required to succeed. Resilience also requires the capacity to accept and even embrace discomfort. Failure is inherently uncomfortable, and the emotional toll it takes can feel like an insurmountable obstacle. But resilience is born out of this discomfort. It's in those moments when everything seems lost, when we are faced with our weaknesses, and when we feel as though the world is conspiring against us, that we have the opportunity to build true strength. Resilient individuals do not shy away from discomfort. They lean into it. They acknowledge the pain of failure, but they also understand that this discomfort is temporary and that their ability to persevere through it will make them stronger in the long run. Another key component of resilience is the ability to maintain a sense of hope. When failure strikes, it can be easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. We may become consumed by the present moment, the pain of our failure and the fear of future failure. But resilience requires the belief that there is something greater waiting on the other side. Hope is not a passive feeling. It is an active choice. It is the decision to continue moving forward even when we cannot see the end result. Hope fuels resilience because it reminds us that failure is not the end of the journey. It is simply a part of it. A resilient mindset doesn't mean ignoring the emotions that come with failure. It's normal to feel sad, frustrated, or even angry when things don't go as planned. But resilience involves processing these emotions without letting them control us. It's about giving ourselves the space to feel and then using those emotions as a catalyst for growth. Rather than allowing negative feelings to dictate our actions, resilient individuals take ownership of their emotions and use them to propel themselves forward. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is that it creates a cycle of improvement. When we experience failure and bounce back from it, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our capabilities. Each time we overcome a challenge, we become more equipped to handle the next one. Resilience, therefore, is not just about surviving failure, it's about becoming better because of it. The more we experience failure and rise from it, the stronger we become. This creates a positive feedback loop where each failure teaches us something new and each lesson learned becomes a building block for future success. Resilience is not something we are born with. It is something we develop over time. Just as we build physical muscle through consistent effort, we build mental and emotional resilience through practice. The more we face and overcome adversity, the more resilient we become. In fact, it's often through the most difficult experiences that we develop our greatest strengths. Resilience is like a muscle that becomes stronger with use. When we confront challenges head-on and refuse to quit, we build the resilience necessary to tackle even bigger obstacles in the future. It's also important to understand that resilience is not a solo endeavor. While it is certainly something we cultivate within ourselves, it is also supported by the relationships and networks we build. When we face failure, having a strong support system can make all the difference. Resilient individuals often lean on friends, family, mentors, or colleagues for encouragement, guidance, and perspective. These people help us see beyond the immediate pain of failure and remind us of our potential. They are the ones who encourage us to keep going when we feel like giving up. Resilience is reinforced by community, and the strength we draw from others can help us stay motivated and focused. One of the greatest benefits of resilience is that it enables us to approach life with a growth mindset. Rather than viewing challenges and failures as threats, resilient individuals see them as opportunities to learn and improve. They understand that every obstacle presents a chance to expand their knowledge and skills. Failure, in this context, becomes less about defeat and more about opportunity. It is through failure that we discover what we are truly capable of. Resilience shifts our perspective from seeing failure as an endpoint to viewing it as a necessary part of the journey towards success. In conclusion, resilience is the ability to overcome failure and continue moving forward with strength, determination, and hope. It is a mindset that allows us to view failure not as a defeat, but as a stepping stone towards success. Resilient individuals do not allow setbacks to define them. Instead, they use those setbacks to fuel their growth and development. They understand that failure is not the end of the road, but a part of the process. By embracing resilience, we learn to persevere through adversity, to reframe failure as an opportunity, and to build the strength necessary to overcome any challenge life throws our way. Every setback we face in life can feel like a crushing blow. The initial impact often leaves us reeling, questioning ourselves, our abilities, and our purpose. It's natural to feel discouraged, lost, or overwhelmed when things don't go according to plan. But what if I told you that every setback, every failure, and every obstacle you encounter could actually be a setup for a greater comeback? The notion that setbacks are merely set-up opportunities isn't just an optimistic idea. It's a powerful mindset shift that has the potential to transform the way we approach life's challenges. In many cases, the most successful people in history have not achieved greatness because of their smooth paths, but because they encountered and overcame significant setbacks. The setbacks they faced became the very things that propelled them forward, teaching them valuable lessons, pushing them to grow, and ultimately positioning them for success. In fact, some of the most iconic comebacks in history came from individuals who faced tremendous challenges but refused to let those challenges define them. Instead of seeing failure as the end, they recognized it as a setup for something even greater. It was through the experience of setback that they found the strength and wisdom necessary to rise higher than before. Take, for example, some of the most inspiring figures in modern history. Walt Disney, one of the most successful entrepreneurs and creative minds the world has ever known, was fired from a newspaper job because he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Imagine the crushing blow to his ego at that moment, as the world seemed to doubt his talent. But rather than giving up on his dreams, Disney used that setback as fuel for his ambitions. He went on to create one of the most iconic entertainment empires the world has ever seen. What seemed like a failure became the beginning of something far greater than anyone could have imagined. Similarly, Thomas Edison, the man who gave us the light bulb, experienced thousands of failures before he succeeded. When his early experiments failed, many people around him believed he was wasting his time. In fact, one of his teachers said he was too stupid to learn anything, and many of his inventions were initially considered to be impractical or ridiculous. Yet Edison was unfazed. He saw each failure as a lesson learned, a step closer to the ultimate goal. When asked about his failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each setback led to more knowledge, more understanding, and ultimately a greater breakthrough. Without those setbacks, Edison might never have achieved the world-changing success he did. What sets these individuals apart is their unwavering belief that setbacks are not permanent obstacles. Rather, they are part of the larger process of growth and achievement. The key is in how we choose to respond to adversity. It's easy to become discouraged when things go wrong, but it's the ability to keep going, to persist through the tough times, that leads to the greatest comebacks. This is the essence of resilience. The idea that setbacks don't define us, they refine us. The journey through adversity is often the most valuable part of the journey to success. Setbacks are not only an inevitable part of life, they are often necessary for personal growth. Think about the lessons you've learned in the moments when you've faced challenges. It's easy to coast through life when things are going well, but when things get tough, that's when you really discover what you're made of. The obstacles you face reveal your character, your strength, and your capacity to rise above the situation. In many cases, the setbacks you encounter teach you things about yourself that you could never have learned otherwise. Every time you face a setback, you are given the opportunity to reassess your approach, to reflect on what you can do differently, and to develop new strategies for moving forward. Setbacks force you to think creatively, to find new solutions, and to develop the perseverance that is necessary to achieve long-term success. Without setbacks, you might never push yourself to be better, to think outside the box, or to find the courage to try again. Moreover, setbacks often provide us with the space we need to recalibrate our goals and clarify our vision. Sometimes we get so caught up in the pursuit of our goals that we lose sight of why we started in the first place. A setback can be a wake-up call, an opportunity to pause, reflect, and refocus. It can be the catalyst for a deeper understanding of what truly matters to us, what our true passions are, and what we are willing to fight for. In this way, setbacks serve as a powerful reminder that success isn't just about achieving a particular outcome. It's about the journey, the growth, and the lessons learned along the way. There's also something incredibly empowering about the process of bouncing back from a setback. When you face adversity, you have the choice to either let it defeat you or to rise stronger than before. The more you encounter challenges and continue to push through, the more you build your self-confidence and your belief in your ability to overcome future obstacles. It's a cycle of growth that builds upon itself. Every time you rise from a setback, you reinforce the idea that you are capable of handling anything that comes your way. Each comeback is a testament to your resilience, your determination, and your strength. Furthermore, setbacks can serve as an opportunity to refine your skills and enhance your capabilities. Think about athletes, for example. The best athletes in the world don't achieve greatness without facing setbacks. Injuries, losses, and setbacks are a natural part of their journey, but each setback provides them with an opportunity to analyze their performance, learn from their mistakes, and improve. The more they face setbacks, the better they become at their craft. It's not the setback itself that matters. It's how you use it to come back stronger, more focused, and more determined than ever before. The idea that every setback is a setup for a greater comeback also suggests that success is not a straight line. It's not about a constant upward trajectory with no obstacles. Success is often messy and nonlinear. It's about having the courage to keep going even when the path seems uncertain, to push through the challenges and learn from each misstep along the way. A true comeback doesn't happen overnight. It happens through a series of small, persistent steps forward, even when the road ahead seems unclear. The most important thing to remember is that no setback is permanent. Circumstances may seem dire in the moment, but they can change in an instant. Opportunities are often hidden within the challenges we face, and what feels like a setback today may very well be the catalyst for something much greater in the future. When you're in the middle of a setback, it's easy to lose sight of this bigger picture. But it's important to remind yourself that what's happening right now is just one chapter in a much larger story. Every setback is temporary, and every setback is setting you up for an eventual comeback. The greatest comebacks often happen when we least expect them. Life has a way of surprising us, and sometimes The most unexpected twists lead to the most rewarding outcomes. We can't always predict what the future holds, but we can control how we respond to the setbacks that come our way. The key is to stay focused on the bigger picture and trust that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, learn, and emerge stronger than before. Setbacks are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones to something greater, waiting just around the corner.